Welcome, one and all, to the finale of Season 12 of Challenger League. Welcome to the Circuit Ricardo Tormo, the lovely city of Valencia, for our finale. No title, practically no title on the cards today. The Riker Autos have won the Drivers' Championship with Figueroa, who is sitting out for this race, and the Constructors' Championship is all but assured if the Riker Autos can get, 3 points. I think is all they need, and they need VEO to not have a perfect weekend. So, yeah, a lot of opportunity for some drivers to make a show of it this last race. We've got El Matimar coming in, and it is a good lap to start us off at 32.98, a decent jump from everyone else, and he's definitely the man to beat after a single lap here in Valencia. Kiato is now on the front row with him. X6 and Guzman on the second row provisionally. Girini did not get a good lap there. That might not be representative of the Luso Botanica car.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I am joined by Kubo. I forgot to mention that earlier. Once again, love to see him. Love to talk with him, of course. And we've got a few more laps. Golomi with a 32.87. That is a significant improvement. And that's going to jump him to the top of the standings as it stands at the moment. X6 now into P3. Very interesting there. Good show from Golomi with that lap. Can he improve? Can he go even faster? There is lap time to be gained here.
Yeah, very interesting. Matty also improved by just 100 that second lap, and I think we should be seeing more sub 33s in just a second.
Oh, doesn't seem that way.
Don't.
Andrews has gone to the pit lane. There are a few more improvements, but nothing that will change the top of the field. It is Golomi taking pole position for the final round of Challenger League. El Matimar will start on the front row alongside him, the only two drivers to break through the 33-second barrier here in Valencia. X6 will take a great qualifying and start on third. Then it's Jeff to Jeff in P4. Guzman and Juan occupy the fifth row. Actually, I'm not sure if Juan will start sixth because he has a three-way tie between Kiato and Girini on the same time there. We do know that it's Andrea starting in P9 and Audi Gray starting in P10. That will be the sprint race pole position, because we do have our top 10 flipped for that race. P11, unlucky P11, goes to Mr. Crunk. Actually, Audi Craze and Crunk are tied on 10. I'm not sure how the game is going to decide that. This is the first time we've had a tie for P10. That is going to be quite decisive what the game decides on who actually is 10th and 11th. Simon saw that starts in P12, followed by Rusky in 13th, Nakes in 14th, then it's Axperial, Vlad, Urist, and Priya that round out the grid today. Pretty close qualifying, especially through the first 10, 11, 12 drivers, really. But yeah, gonna have to see how that gets decided. That is not the most ideal situation for our qualifying format. But we'll definitely find a way to get through that. And here we are. So the actual top 11 have been swapped around just to ensure that things are not gone. And Juan is stalled on the grid. That is huge as we get underway for 11 laps of our sprint here. That is not a good look for him. Definitely was a stall in case of him not being ready for the start, I believe. But it is Audi Craze leading us away. Kiato and Mr. Crunk, the top three at the moment. Matimar trying to get through as Jeff to Jeff is also in that fight as we head around towards turn 10. The very first time. Girini also in that fight, gets squeezed off, gets followed through by Nakes, who gets... Oh my goodness, the lag really pushing Girini off. He's lost about 5 positions into that as we end lap 1. Simon saw that and Andrews just chasing each other down. Urist, then Vlad, Golomi, Axperia 1, X6 and Priya at the back of the grid. But it is Mr. Crunk now leading the way. Audi might have made a bit of an error there. He's getting challenged by Jeff to Jeff as we get through to turn 8 once again. This long left-hand hairpin. And into turn 11, the right-hand hairpin following it. Kyoto trying to get through on Jeff. They're finding very little space between the two. Audi Craze is going to cover off the inside, so those two are going right round the outside, and Jeff has lost a few seconds, like tenths there. Kyoto now into P3. Matimar trying to challenge here. It's all giving a chance for Crunk to run away here. As Matty and Audi Craze, Rusky threw into this fight as well. He's not giving an inch either. Kyoto just squeezing Rusky into turn 7, into turn 8 now. Matimar's lost some time. He gets fallen by the wayside. Guzman through on him. He's going to fall to P7 just in front of Nakes, Jaruni, Andreas in the top 10. Then it is Simon saw that a little way behind there. A little bit of a gap has already developed between that top 10 and everyone else. Golormi in 12th. Then it's Fuller, Urist, 1, X6, and Priya Axperial rounding us out. Crunk still leading the way after 4 laps, and he's still got about a second of a gap between him and the chasing pack. Taking some of these corners pretty wide, but that was a good entry into turn 8 there. He's going to definitely gain some time on the chasing pack. Rusky seems to have slightly gapped everyone behind him. Audi Craze, though, with the slipstream, is making sure that is not happening anytime soon. Audi Craze is trying to go through the inside. He's going to have the inside line into turn 1. Trying to make the move, and into turn 2, that big hairpin. Audi has to break earlier. Rusky around the outside. Looks like Audi is through. Good, safe move from the JL graduate here. Rusky and Audi Craze actually chasing down Crunk at a rate of knots here. Audi Craze is going to try something around the outside at turn 11, and he makes it work. Audi into the lead of the sprint here. Rusky also through. Crunk into 3rd now. Rusky tries to switch back into turn 14, that last corner. It's a very, very nice corner, that one. Reminds me a lot of, I believe it's like turn 12 at Sepang, where it really closes in on you the further you go along the corner. Really quite a lovely piece of track that is, but it's an absolute scuffle between the top 5, and Matimar has pulled away. He's into the lead of the race now. Just changing every lap here. Oh my god, what was that? I think Crunk hitting the grass there. He's lost a lot of time. Kubo, your thoughts on the opening half of this race now as we enter lap 7?
Well, the start was incredibly chaotic with one stall. You could see Matty there escaping it though and getting into that top 7 while the people behind got like a real big gap forming just at the start of the race. And now Matty last lap with great overtakes as he's into the lead. Feel bad for Mr. Crunk, he was holding on to that lead, everyone behind him battling, but it looks like he's dropping quickly now.
Oh, he's all the way to 12th now. What's happened? I saw him drop to, I think, 6th, but everything else has been, yeah, not ideal for the Canadian driver. He's having to deal with Nakes, and Simon saw that in front of him, just battling. The two previously driving in JL just a half hour earlier, actually. And it looks like Nakes will get the better of that battle for now. He's got the better speed heading into turn 3, turn 4, and then turn 5. But he's made a mistake there. Give Simon Saw that an opportunity to get back into his pace. And at the front, though, it's Matimar, who's broken away from Rusky. He did have the slip for a little bit, and now he's got a comfy gap, potentially to take a first sprint race of the season, as he took the feature last time out in Bugatti. Jeff to Jeff now in 2nd place, followed by Rusky, Kyoto, then Jaruni in the top 5. Guzman and Andrews getting into the fight. There's a lag rocket! Kyoto and Jaruni significantly affected by that. I think Guzman will have to potentially cop a post-race penalty for that. We'll have to see, because that was very opportunistic and really hurt Jaruni and Kyoto there in the long run. Andrews getting through on the Belarusian drive as he drops to P7. Audi Craze also fighting alongside those two, tries to make a move, not quite there for him. He's going to stick into P9 as we enter the final 2 laps of the race. Next in 10th, and it's Simon Saw that next 6 fighting for P11. Behind them, it's Vlad and Crunk, then 1. Urist in 16th, and Priya and Axperio. But it is Matimar running away here. But it is, Jeff and Rusky also making the same mistake at the same portion of the lap there on the outside of turn 8. We're just going to cut to the leader here because Matimar is round in the final corner. He's going to take another win in CL.
No,
one more lap, sorry. I called that a bit too early. Jeff and Rusky still side by side. Jeff holding on to that little bit of extra positioning here. He'll hold on to P2. Sorry for my presumptuousness. Guzman in 4th. He might have a chance to get onto podium here. Ruski's made a mistake. It's let Jeff to Jeff run 3 into P2. Andres and Kato going side by side. Golormi getting into that fight. Audi Craze trying to go around the outside. He tries to switch back on Andres. He might be able to get through. El Matimar is finally coming around the final corner again. This is the real last lap here. And Matimar comes through for the win at the sprint race in Valencia. Jeff finishes in 2nd. Guzman and Ruski right at the death. Ruski will hold on to P3 by a wing. Then it's Golormi in 5th, Audi in 6th, and Girouni, Chiato, Andriath, and it looks like Juan has actually gotten past. Oh, because of the delayed start there. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Juan has been classified in P10. I think Simon saw that and Nex finished in front of him though. Then it's Vlad in 13th, X6, Kronk, Urist, Priya, and Axperial rounding us out. Well, if you want then, if you want Kubo, you can take it away.
Well, yeah, Matty with the victory here. However, I think because of not getting a fastest lap, he is Figo is like officially for sure the champion.
Oh, he was already anyway, confirmed last week. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but still, all the way from 10th, he wins. Jeff in his return gets 2nd and the fastest lap. Ruski with a podium. I don't know if that's his first podium this season, but it's a great job from him. Guzman gets ahead of Sexy Digger now in the standings with that P4 finish. Then Gurlami makes it a very good result for Velocity. Audi Craze from the front row down to 6th, still a respectable performance. Girouni 7th, Chiato 8th. Mar Andres returns to 9th. Juan 10th, but like you said, he might have actually finished 12th, so have to see later on where he'll be classified. Simon saw that, then Nakes, Vlad 0204 finishes 13th, X6 and 14th, Mr. Crunk unfortunately down in 15th, the Bobcats, not a great sprint for them, 16th and 17th with Xperio rounding off in 18th.
Alright, here we go. Golormi starting from the front, what can he do from here? What is the strategy going to look at? 5 red lights, and we are away. Ricardo Tormo. Golormi gets a pretty slow start, all things considered. Matimar heads into the lead as Guzman gets a really big toe heading into turn 1. It's all going off here. Cars just swiping through left and right. I think both Rika Autos have gone off into the grass at turn 5. But it is Golormi who's actually held on to the lead here. Jeff to Jeff has jumped up into P2 on those medium tyres. Girouni followed by X6 and then Guzman in P5. Simon saw that, then followed by Nakes in 7th, Ruski, and then Matty, who's dropped down to 9th on those hard tyres. Not the greatest start for him, but he is going for the ultimate strategy here. Mud Andrews and Audi Craze trying to get through the Rika Auto. Simon saw that, is going really slowly heading into turn 2, and he's going to lose a ton of placings due to that. Oh, wow. Jeff to Jeff into the lead of the race now. I think Golormi hasn't had the greatest in terms of initial pace here at this race start. X6 now in a P2. Golormi's dropped to 4th as Guzman gets through on him as well. Girouni just trying to come through as well. The soft tire drivers all running quite nicely together. But it is Matimar now charging through the field. Nakes maybe not giving too much space. You couldn't really see too much on his ping there. He'll be slotting into P6 at the moment. Matty in 7th. Ruski, then Audi Craze. Fuller. Nakes makes a big error. That's going to block a few people on the exit of turn 8 there. Crunk Andrus in P11 and 12, followed by Simon Saw that, who's dropped off quite a bit actually. Priya in 14th. And it's Urist, Juan, Xperio, and Chiato rounding out the back of the field now. Not too far removed from the front, but we'll see how long that can hold on. Jeff now 4 laps in, makes a bit of a mistake. Maybe slows down X6 a little bit with that. But he still holds on to the lead here. And the drivers on the softs just happy to slip him as we go through. It's the top 3 running away. Golormi making a few mistakes. Girouni with a bit of an error as there. Ruski is getting along with him. Matimar trying to really show that pace he's got on the hard tyres, sorry. As he goes through into P6. think X6 has gotten into the lead of the race, and he has. He's just got a bit of a gap as Jeff is making a few mistakes, and Guzman is through on him as well. So the top three switching order a little bit as the softs start to slowly find their way coming towards it, and it will be maybe gifting a bit of extra slipstream for Jeff will be all he needs to maybe take a big overcut later in the race. Golormi just catching up to the top three now in P4, then it's Matty in 5th with Rusky and Vlad in 6th and 7th. Nakes fighting away with Jaruni for P8 here. It looks like Nakes has made the move there. Jaruni might have been punted a little bit there. I'm not too sure what happened to his ping, but it didn't seem to break too early. Oh, mistake there from Nakes. Jaruni is through. Andreas and Crunk also chasing down the Australian here, who's making a few more mistakes, a bit more than he would be liking here. He's sandwiched between Andreas and Crunk, and looks like he's backing off and actually backed up into his teammate a little bit. A few drivers into the pits already, and Rusky and Jaruni are the first to make those stops here. Jaruni on the softs, Rusky on the hard tyre. Andreas following them in, who will now be in the very back of the field. But it is X6 Jeff Guzman still running for 7 laps here. And the undercut will be interesting. We'll have to see where Jaruni ends up after everyone has made their stops. Have to see if X6 decides to make the stop now. And Guzman actually beats him to the pit lane here with that better exit he had on the final corner. And Jeff is away into the lead of the race. Matima is through into P2 as Golormi pits as well. Kronk now running in the top 3 on those medium tyres. I'll make that the top 4, sorry. There's Guzman and X6 get through him here. Kiato also challenging on those hard tyres. Nake still running on the softs. Sorry? I heard something. I'm not sure if Kubo saw something.
That was my fault. I accidentally turned the mic on.
Please turn it off. All good. So Jeff actually pitting a lap after everyone else. That is very interesting. So he only thought the mediums could go for 9 laps. As X6 and Guzman get that undercut, and they're through on him. Matima still running long on the hard tyre, and Kiato Urist Golormi finding himself going really right at turn 2. There's Urist Kronk fighting away, Jaruni trying to get through, and against his teammate as well in Kronk here. Hopefully no funny business for the Belarusian as he tries to get through the field. Rusky with a little trap. Oh my god. Kronk has found the problems of ping sometimes in this race. He's found himself into the grass there, and he's into the pits now.
Track's deadly.
Track is absolutely deadly. Matima in the lead still, 2 seconds ahead of X6, Guzman, then Jeff. Got Vlad and Kiato still running on the hard tyres. Jaruni trying to get through them here. Oh, it's quite close between them. Vlad has the inside. Jaruni tries to switch back. It's not quite going to work for him. And it looks like Vlad has just let Jaruni through. Kiato tries to make a move. I don't think there was really any space for that. Yeah, lap 11 now for the hard tyre runners. As Jaruni jumps into P5. And Vlad as well is running through on the the fresher hards he made a pit for earlier. So Rusky as well. Going through. Juan still hasn't made a stop yet. No, neither is Matima. We see a bit of lag going on. Not too sure what's going on with that. See Guzman next 6 actually through in P1 as Matima has made that stop onto the hard tyre. He's going for a second set as he finishes lap 11. And same could be said for a bunch of the other drivers who started on the hards. And I think Martin Andrews actually got dragged into the pit lane. Yeah, this is second stop, so he must have gotten dragged by that mass of hard runners there. That is really unfortunate for his chances today. As he tries to get through against the Bobcats at the back of the grid. X6 and Guzman still running away. This is going to be huge for Guzman because he'll potentially only need to make one more stop for the rest of the race if he's running the hard tyre here. X6 dragging him along on the soft compound. Then it's Jeff on the softs as well in P3. Jaruni. Then Vlad. Matima on that fresh set is now in P6. He's trying to get through, and he does so. Vlad just letting him by. Knows full well the pace of the pole. Rusky is in that train as well, and so is Gorlormi. So a little bit of train follow-up between the hard tyre runners here, potentially chasing down everyone else, because they know full well they're in a different race to the guys on the softs. Audi Craze in P9, then it's Nakes in 10th, Crunk in 11th, Juan in P12. Andreas, Simon, Urist, Kiato all running together with Priya and Xperio at the back of the field. But yeah, interesting strategies all across the board, and we'll have to see whether X6, he actually does stay out. So this will be his 8th lap on the soft tyre, with 14 laps to go. So I'm not too sure what his strategy is here. Maybe he needs that one stint on the 8-lap softs to maybe go for 2 sets of 7-lap softs to finish the race. But this is absolutely working in benefit of Guzman here, who's still got plenty of time to run on the hards. And right there, he just gets through. No, he makes a bit of an error there, and a little kink there at turn 12. And X6 is actually staying out. That's very interesting. He's really struggling on the grip now. And maybe he's switching up his strategy. He wants to go hard to the end. Ooh, this is going to be very interesting come the end of the race, if that's the case. Jeff to Jeff into the pit lane, and he comes out for a set of softs. So he's doing the conventional 3-stop on full all soft tyres. He did start on the mediums though, so maybe he's sort of switched his strategy around, thinking, hey, this is not going to work, I just need to go all softs from here on out. Glizzy Man running away from X6 now. This is going to be big for him, as X6 surely has to pit now. He finds the grip absolutely diabolical as he heads to the pit lane. And will he go for the hards here? He's got to run the hards for 13 laps, but he is on the hard tyre now, and he has come out in P4 just ahead of Jeff and Rusky. So getting that slipstream from Jeff potentially could be really big in his race for the potential race win here. Vlad and Matimar in front of those crews. So they actually, X6 I'd say is in net P2 here. We'll have to see how Guzman goes on that. If he decides to go for a early stop for one last set of hards to maybe cover off X6. Nothing doing so far. He's still staying out to start lap 18. Matimar now running in P2. Will have to stop again, and so will Vlad, potentially onto a softer compound for the final stint. We'll have to see when they make their stops, of course. Jeff to Jeff, sorry, in P4, followed by X6 on those fresh hard tyres, as the two teammates, Vlad and Jeff, just working together here. And it's X6 again. Oh, I saw someone teleport. That might be a catastrophe. Someone, I'm not too sure who that is. The fair I think it's Juan. Juan seems to have disconnected, and he's out of the race. Our first retirement for today. That is not how you want to have your season end here. Quite unfortunate there. Sorry, Kubo, you have been gone for a little bit. How have you been taking in the race today?
Well, it's a very interesting strategic battle here. I think Guzzy's got the advantage. He's just pitted for, I believe, the final time. He just needs to find someone to slipstream while everyone else has yet to pit. And Matty also now taking that Jeff slip, but he's already got Guzman very close behind him.
Yeah, so the drivers who are definitely going to the end at this point.
P2.
Oh my god, X6 and Jaruni! That's going to be really unfortunate for X6. He loses the position to Guzman, and at the moment that is effectively net P1 now. So those two are in the fight for the lead. We'll have to see if Jeff can maybe make any extra damage if he makes a stop onto one last set of soft tyres, but it is a group of 5 drivers still running. The top 3 here, Jeff, Matty, and Jaruni, will still need a stop. X6 and Guzman. It looks like X6 has gotten through on the Norwegian driver here. He's back into the net lead of the race, but for how long? They're both trying to hold on to Jaruni's slip here, trying not to be too combative just yet with each other. And there's a big gap between them and then Vlad, who's also in for one last stint on the hards. So is Rusky and Gorlormi. Audi Craze on fresh hard tyres. Nakes on old softs. He'll need to get rid of those very soon. So will Urist, old hards for him. Kronk on relatively fresher softs to everyone in front of him, but he still won't be making the end of the race on those tyres. Kyoto has actually pit for a set of mediums, so we'll have to see how he goes for the rest of the race there. Should be able to make the end from here. Mark Andrews in 14th on some fresh hards. Simon saw that, and it's Axperial, Priya, and one, of course, DNFing. So Jeff still going. Jeff in. Matimar in as well. The two drivers heading at the same time. They're both going for the softs. And, yeah, we'll see if they can catch up to X6 and Guzman at this point, because they are a long way behind with... I can't do math. 7 laps on
less
this
than
tire
5
to do.
seconds.
Yeah. Actually, this is...
That is surprising.
Yeah, this is actually very doable for them, as Gorlomi is actually DNFing from the race. He's saying he's getting some poor performance of his car with the FPS at the moment, and that's going to be his season over. Unfortunate for him, of course, but that does leave an opening in the top 10.
Are Guzzi and X6 fighting?
I'd say they might be. Because you have to remember, this is the net race. This could be pretty bad for them, but by the time the drivers in the softs will get to them, I'd assume they might not have the grip to really compete. But honestly, the hards, especially with X6, because he made that stop onto the hard tyre about 2 laps earlier than Guzman did. So maybe Guzman's just biding his time, trying to take use of that. And speaking of, mistake on the final corner from X6 leaves Guzman to take the lead of the race here. There is still 5 more laps to run, as X6 still is challenging him here. And Mr. Crunk also in and out of the race. So I think something must have happened to him. I think
that gap. Jeff is catching them quickly. I think Matthew's staying
the gap's already cut in half. That's crazy.
Yeah, very smart play from Jeff and Matty. Jeff just busting that pace down. Matty just slipstreaming him, letting him do his job, and they're trying to get as close as they can to Guzzi and X6.
Yeah, because you have to think of that positioning as well. If Jeff and Matty keep going like this, they're going to catch one, if not both of them, potentially get both of them on the podium. Speaking of, X6 has lost a bit of time to Guzman, and he is struggling on those tyres. He still needs to run them for 3 more laps. Jeff is now on the back wing of that Mazda Motorsport car. He's trying to go on the outside, Matty on the inside. They go really wide, and X6, the biggest loser of those two. Both of the soft runners are throwing them. It is a 1.5 second gap. Can Jeff or Matimar potentially charge into the lead of the race with just 3 laps remaining here? Girini is also through an X6, so don't count him out either. He's definitely still in the running here. Full running in P6, then it's Rusky, Kyoto in P9, then Snakes in 10th, Andreas, Urist, Simon saw that, Axperial, and then we have 4 DNFs because Priya has also come in for the end of the race, and he's ended his race here, just a few laps down. Guzman still holds the lead now, but the gap is now less than a second. We're going to have a titanic battle the last 2 laps of this race. Jeff and Matty going pretty wide into turn 2. They haven't lost too much time to the leader. Giroudi actually is going to get right into their faces now, because it potentially could be a 4-way fight for the lead in the final lap. Can Jeff hold on? Does he have the grip on this last lap, or potentially last lap of the race? Guzman still holding on to the lead here. Can he make a mistake? Jeff wide! Girouni's knocked into him! It's a big mistake for him, and it's affected Girouni as well there. Matty threw into P2. He's still not close enough. Yeah, it's still about a second gap between him and Guzman. Can Guzman take the race win from here? Oh, dear, it's so tight. Matty with an error on the outside of that corner on turn 6. That might be all Guzman needs to take the win here. It's still about a second gap. Oh, wow. Girini and Jeff still fighting for the podium, but it's going to be Guzman rounding the final corner. It's been a long time since he's tasted the race win after the tragedies of the second half of the season, but he wins here. Matimar in P2, and Girini just pipped to P3 by Jeff. It's going to be X6 in P5, then full Rusky, Audi Crazy in P8, Kyoto rounding out the top 10 along with Nakes, 9th and 10th for those two, Urist in 11th, Mark Andrews finishing in the pit lane in P12, then Simon saw that in 13th, and Experial is the fast of our finishers in 14th. He's still rounding the corner, but wow, what a titanic battle for that race win, but it was Guzman at the end. with just enough grip to take it out. And he wins for the first time since round 6. And
gotta say, Jeff there with some very dangerous re-entries on both Matty and then later even worse on Gerard. So I feel like those incidents will have to be reviewed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They could be very much the difference between Giroudi standing on the podium right now. So that'll definitely be reviewed in the coming days. X6 as well with a good race. So the top 5 only separated by 4 seconds overall. Love to see that. A little bit of a gaps developing across the field further. But yeah. Great to see from all involved. Despite the 4 DNFs we had today, it is Guzman taking the race win here. Matimar and Jeff the podium, with Jeff taking the fastest lap once again. Very interesting there. And the Matimar very much ensuring that it will be a Rica Auto 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. He secures P2 in the Drivers. And Guzman will have to settle for P3 there. Giroudi in 4th today. Could be 3rd, could be 2nd. We'll have to see with the potential reporting later in the week. X6 in P5. Then it is Vlad, Rusky, Audi Craze, then Keanu and Nex rounding out the top 10. Urist in P11, then it's Mart Andreas in 12th. Simon saw that Experial, the last 2 finishes for HRT. Then we've got Priya, Kronk, Golormi and Juan all DNFing from the race today. Well, what a quite eventful season. We don't have our champion here for this race, and we don't have our champion here for any race afterwards. I assure you that Figueroa will definitely be relishing his time in Ultimate League next season as a driving that solitarily. But yeah, lovely season to commentate, lovely season in terms of everything that's happened. We've had plenty of race winners, plenty of podium sitters, and it only leads to a potentially even more enthralling title fight next season. So, with Season 12 done and dusted, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for Kubo to putting in those few words of wisdom during the race, of course. And I will see you in Season 13 of Challenger League. Thanks for tuning in.